gentle people to everyone. So today I'm going to tackle the 5 objectives in the manual. So let's start. Define zoology. So zoology is a branch of biology that deals with the study of animals, comes from the Greek word zoon or animal, and logos means study. It studies the animal kingdom including the structure, embryology, evolution, classification, habitats, and distribution of all animals, both the living and extinct, and how they interact with their ecosystem. Zoology makes a huge impact in our world through the scientific study of this. It includes a diverse approach such as electron microscopy, molecular genetics, and field ecology. By studying animals, we develop a better understanding in how we or ourselves functions and interact with the world around us. Zoology is the study of animals, and with biology with the study of life. But what exactly life is? This may sound like a silly question with an obvious response, but it's not always easy to define life. So there are 9 characteristics of life: the chemical uniqueness, complexity or hierarchical organization, the irritability, metabolism, reproduction, homeostasis, growth and development, and capacity to evolve, and the natural selection. Chemical uniqueness is the living system demonstrate a unique and complex molecular organization. The complexity and hierarchical organization states that the molecules are organized into patterns is the living world that do not exist in the non-living world. The irritability pertains to the organism's ability to perceive the environmental stimuli and respond appropriately by adjusting its metabolism psychology. The metabolism are living organisms maintain themselves by acquiring nutrients from their environments. The reproduction is the process of which living organisms reproduce either sexually or asexually. Which homeostasis is in which living organisms maintain the condition of its internal environment within the tolerable limits. The growth and development is in which living organisms undergo changes from its origin to complete the adult form. And the capacity to evolve is in which living organisms are subjected to process of evolution to be able to adapt to their environment. There are major subdivisions of zoology by Jessup in 1988. The invertebrate zoology, vertebrate zoology, morphological zoology, psychological zoology, geological genetics, evolutionary zoology, geological ecology, animal behavior or the animal psychology, the etymology and animal pathology, and epidemiology. Based on the manual, there are 14 animal cells or organelles: the plasma membrane, the nucleus, nucleolus, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, rough ER or the rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth ER or the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, pexosomes, vacuole and vesicle, mitochondrion, cytoplasm skeleton, cilia, and flagella. The plasma membrane regulates the passage of molecules inside and outside the cell. It provides a protection for a cell. It also provides a fixed environment inside the cell, and that membrane has the several different functions. One is to transport the nutrients into the cell and also to transport the toxic substance out of the cell. The nucleus controls and regulates the activity of the cell that carries the gene structure that contain the hereditary information. The nucleus is the storage and the synthesis of the DNA of RNA. Nucleolus is the site of the ribosomal RNA synthesis and assembly of the ribosomes. It is an organelle in the nucleus that plays a key role in the transcription and processing of the ribosomal RNA. The ribosome cites the protein synthesis. It reads the sequence of the messenger RNA, and using the genetic code, it translates the sequence of the RNA based into the sequence of amino acids. Endoplasmic reticulum or the ER is a protein synthesis, modification, and distribution of substance by forming the vesicles. It plays a major role in the production, processing, and transport of proteins and lipids. So there are 2 ER, the rough and the smooth. So the rough ER or rough endoplasmic reticulum is so named for the appearance of its outer surface, which is studded with protein synthesizing particles known as the ribosomes. While the smooth ER or the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is involved in the synthesis of lipids, including the cholesterol and the phospholipids, which are used in the production of the new cellular membrane. The Golgi apparatus is the processing or packaging and the distribution of proteins and other macromolecules. The lysosomes are involved with the various cell processes. They break down the excess or worn out the cell parts. They may be used to destroy the invading viruses and bacteria. The peroxisomes are various metabolic tasks that request the diverse oxidative reaction and play the important role in metabolism, the reactive oxygen, and the species detoxification and signaling. The vacuole and the vesicle stores the nutrients, water, and toxic waste. The mitochondrion is a cellular respiration and site of aerobic metabolism. The cytoskeleton maintains the cell shape and movement of its parts. And last, the cilia, the flagellae, used for movement and locomotion for the cell. Somatic tissues includes epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues, and the nervous tissues. Epithelial tissues is a sheet of cells that covers an internal or external surface. The external surface serves as a protective covering, and the internal surface aligns all organs of the body cavity as well as the and the passageways through which various materials and secretion pass. These are the types of epithelial tissues based on the cell form: the squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. And based on the cell layer are the simple and the stratified. The connective tissues. Connective tissues has two types: the loose or the alveolar and the dense connective tissues. And also it has a specialized connective tissues: the bone, the cartilage, adipose, blood, and the lymph. The muscle tissues. Muscle tissues are typically the most abundant tissue in all animals, and the fundamental units are conver, including a muscle fiber which is specialized for contraction.